Alrighty guys, so this is the part 2 video for the 4.2 lesson exercise. So I left off on question 21. So question 21, 22, and 23 are all the same kind of questions. But I'm going to go over question 21 with you now. And it wants us to identify an inequality that represents x in feet. And the information that we're given is that the perimeter is less than 28 feet. So I know that a perimeter of a triangle is all of the sides added together. The perimeter of any shape is all the sides added together. So that means that, what the heck? That means that 7 plus x is something to 28. And in here we're told that the perimeter is less than 28. So 7 plus x, all of the sides added together, is less than 28. And so I need to see, okay, which one would that represent? That would represent this guy right here. And so I've determined the inequality that represents x, and now I need to solve the inequality. So, and you guys know how to solve that out now. But first, just as a hint, add the 7's together. And then you're going to put the solution for the inequality here. Make sure to include the x, the symbol, and then whatever number is on the other side. For 22, the only thing I want to share with you for 22 is that if you're going to find you're going to have to know that this is the base and that this is the height. And I think the rest should be pretty straightforward for you. 23 is another perimeter question. You are should be pretty good at perimeters now. Most of you guys are. I'll let you do that on your own. 24. This one looks a little tricky. So the question reads, the solution of d plus s is greater than -3 is d greater than -7. D is greater than -7. What is the value of s? So what this question is asking, don't overthink it. What this question is asking is, what does s have to equal so that when you subtract s from both sides, your solution becomes d is greater than -7. So I'll put it vertically for you, so hopefully that makes a little more sense. So it's d plus s is greater than -3. And then what you'll do, if you were wanted to just get the d by itself, you would subtract s from both sides, just like we do in order to get any other variable by itself. And what this is saying is that would leave you with d is greater than -7. So what number does s have to equal in order for this to be true? What number do you have to subtract from both sides in order to get d is greater than -7? So hopefully that makes sense. So all you're going to put in here is just one number that s has to equal. 25, for some reason is all the way down here. The hole for a bird feeder post is 3 feet deep. The top of the post needs to be at least 5 feet above the ground. Identify an inequality that represents the required length of the post. So I'm going to draw you, and then this is the ground, and then your bird feeder post has to be 3 feet deep. So I'm going to draw this and label this as 3 feet. 3 feet deep. And then the top of the post needs to be at least 5 feet above the ground. So above the ground, it needs to be at least 5 feet. But it can be greater than 5 feet is what that means. So it can actually be bigger than 5 feet. But it has to be at least 5 feet or bigger. Identify an inequality that represents the required length of the post. So which inequality will represent the required length of the post? So remember, it has to be at least 5 feet above the ground and then 3 feet deep. So you need to find which of these four represent that. And then you'll solve for the solution, or you'll get b and then some sort of symbol and then another number over on the other side, and you'll put that into here. Last few, 28. The possible values of x are given by x plus 8 is less than or equal to 6. The greatest possible value of 7x is, and I'm going to do this one with you because this one it's not that it's tough, it's just it's worded differently in a way that we're not used to yet, but we will get used to. So the values of x are given by x plus 8 is less than or equal to 6. So I can solve for all the values of x. So I can do that by, if this is plus 8, I'm going to do minus 8 on both sides, subtract 8. Plus 8 and minus 8 will cancel each other out, and that's going to leave me with x. And then is less than or equal to. And then 6 minus 8 is going to be negative 2. So I just solved for x. X is going to have to be all numbers less than or equal to negative 2, which on a graph would look like so. So, and then what this question, the answer that you want to put is the greatest possible value of x, of 7 times x is. So what is the greatest number that x can equal? Well, all of the numbers to this left side are possible values of x. Everything to the left of negative 2 are possible values of x, but all of those numbers are less than negative 2. And x can equal negative 2 because x is either less than or equal to negative 2. So because x can equal negative 2, and that's the number most to the right, then that means that the greatest possible value for x is negative 2. I'll write that here. Greatest possible value of x is negative 2. And I can see that because I can have x as negative 4 or negative 3, but the greatest one, the one farthest to the right, is negative 2. X can't be negative 1 or 0 or anything to the right of that because x has to either equal negative 2 or be less than negative 2. So that means that the greatest value that it can be is going to be negative 2. And so if the greatest possible value of x is negative 2, what I'm going to do then to find the greatest possible value of 7x is plug in negative 2 for x. So in 7x, I'm going to plug in negative 2 for x, and 7 times negative 2 gives me negative 14. So the greatest possible value of 7x is negative 14. 31, 32, 33, those are all review questions, so should be able to knock those out pretty simply. Remember that solving equations is the same thing as solving inequalities. The only thing here is we have negative 2 times b, and we're going to do the same thing, opposite operation or the inverse operation. So if this is multiplication, what I want you to do is divide both sides by negative 2. For number 32, this is 60 is equal to 3/4 h. Just a reminder, you can turn any fraction into a 1 by multiplying it by its reciprocal. If you don't know what a reciprocal is, ask your neighbors or Google it. And then 33, what fraction is equivalent to negative 2.4? So this one is actually a throwback from a while back, Unit 2. You're going to turn this decimal into a fraction. But it's not going to be with a whole number. It looks like it's actually going to be an improper fraction in its simplest form. So you will definitely be able to figure it out. I think that's a really good question. And that's it. Thanks, guys.